Hi, it's Mike, and I'm back with some alarming and interesting history here. But we're looking at I'm standing right on top of the Oxford Tunnel, also known as the Van Ness Gap Tunnel. Here's Route 31, and we're in Van Ness Gap. This is County House Mountain is over here, West Oxford Mountain over here. And because of the recent collapses on Interstate 80, when it came to some of the old iron mines, I've been bringing up my concerns about this tunnel. The original Van Ness Gap Tunnel for the Warren Railroad became the main line of the Lackawanna for many years. Now, again, we're right above the tunnel. People have been asking me where exactly the tunnel is as it pertains to Route 31. There's a railroad cut. You can see it going around the corner over there. See a little clearer right here. And here's Route 31. So I'm bringing this up today because these mines collapsed again, now under the westbound lanes of Route 80. So, to put things in perspective, the tunnels under Route 80 are only about 5 feet high by 5 feet wide. People have posted many pictures going down the shafts and into some of these mines. They widen out to a little larger than that in some places, but it's not that huge a deal, or it shouldn't be. But the tunnel, a former railroad tunnel, this is over 20 feet high by more than 30 feet wide. There were once double tracks going through this tunnel here. So we're looking at huge width. It wasn't always double track. They switched it back to switch single track. At one time it was a gauntlet track because locomotives got larger. But you could see this comes right through here, and then it goes directly beneath Route 31, and it is collapsed in 2 places already. But within sight of where I'm standing, right at the peak of the land, there is actually a railroad rail that had been bent to the shape of the tunnel to secure cracks in the roof back when the railroad was still operating. That railroad rail has fallen to the floor of the tunnel. It's laying in there now. I've actually sent photos of that rail from when it happened to Assemblyman Steinhardt's office at his request. So nothing has been done about this, and I've recently nominated this tunnel to New Jersey's most endangered historic sites list. Not only because it's in danger of destruction, but because it's a public safety concern, especially in light of everything we see on Route 80 and how this is a much larger tunnel. So again, the railroad bed, you can see it right here. The mouth of the tunnel is directly below me. And there's Route 31. Another little interesting thing, you see the grade right over here, that's Tunnel Hill Road. But that's actually the 1856 to 1862 temporary track of the Warren Railroad before the tunnel was built. It weaves out and around the fields to the south of here, and then makes its way to the line down this way. Then it weaves its way out around Oxford Furnace in Oxford, and then joins the line on the other side of the tunnel as well. The tunnel was built in 1862, and it was updated. The one portal in 1906, it had some concrete facade added to it. There were some improvements, but there have been no maintenance works done on this since 1970 when the last train went through. So that's my concerns, and if we're having those kind of problems on Route 80, it's only a matter of time for here. Ideally, I'd love to see this rehabilitated and turned into part of a trail. It will take a whole lot of remediation, but up until a few years ago it was still easy to walk through, so it can't be that far gone. And since it's considered a permanent waterway, the way I see it is, if they were to try to dam it off and everything, you have some major drainage issues. So the fact that there's over 20 tunnels that you can walk through in Pennsylvania publicly and New Jersey doesn't have any, I think it can be done, and it would be a great historic interpretation, and it would be a great recreational thing. Most of this railroad bed is state land. There's a private section that we're looking at just beyond here. In the distance, it becomes private land here. But across Warren County, more than half of it is already preserved. So that's about it. Thanks for watching.